Okay, this is the MSU PSE Program Intern Log Excel file. In this file, you're going to record all of your internship activity in an hour or portions of an hour. So I'm going to fill it out and give you a sense of what this looks like. So I'm in week 1. So when you open the file for the first time, it's going to look exactly like this. When you open it, you might need to click on Enable Content at the top, but it's in a big yellow bar. You can't miss it. So first, I am going to enter my name, and that'll be the only time I need to enter it. So do that and then save this on your computer. So if you are assigned a computer space or a computer to use and you log in with your MSU credentials and you save this on the desktop, you'll be able to access it every time you're at your internship. So I've done that, and then as I click on any other week, you can see my name appears there. You don't need to mess with the date. I have already pre-filled this. In fact, all you need to do is enter what you're doing. So let's say that I meet with supervisor, and I did that for an hour on Monday, and then again for half an hour on Friday. So half an hour would be 0.5. If I met with somebody for an hour and 15 minutes, or I did something for an hour and 15 minutes, then that would be 1.25, because 15 minutes is a quarter of an hour. And everything is going to total for you. And the total to date, if I click on another week, you see carries. I'm going to move this just a little bit, so bear with me. Carries over with each week's sheet. And see, as I click on each week at the bottom, see my mouse moving and clicking, you see the total to date carries over from week to week. So as you go through the semester and you log your activity, this column changes. So you never have to enter anything in the total row, the total week column, or the total to date. If you change any of those numbers, you're actually going to throw off the whole sheet, and then you'll have to try to figure out a way to report your hours in a non-automated fashion. So I did that. And let's say that part of my internship is advising a student group. Don't know if it would be. Let's say they have their meetings every Tuesday evening, and the first one lasts for an hour and 15 minutes. So I put that there. Let's say I do some data analysis. Have related to assessment, and let's say that on Monday I did that for 2 hours, and Wednesday I did it for 2 hours. And you see I put something as generic as general office work. That's fine for me. You don't need to go into grave detail of I spent 2 hours typing a new document. To me, that's general office work. Let's say on Thursday I did that for 3 hours. Let's say that the way your schedule works, you're in there for 3 hours on Tuesdays, and then for another hour and a quarter in the evening, advising the student group. And they've got their department meetings on Thursday mornings. Let's say they're an hour. So in that first week, let's say I log 10 hours and 45 minutes. Everything is calculated for me. So then when I go to week 2, let me move this over. You can see it's there. I type in my activities. Don't worry about the numbers here. I just left the numbered lines just for your ease of use and reference if you ever wanted to number something. And so this week, let's say the first thing that I did, they changed their department meeting to Mondays, and so that's the first thing I put in. And then you see now I've got 11.75. Now you can see that there's a total to date for each row. It doesn't matter to me if you keep these rows consistent. I actually borrowed the format for this log file from the counseling program, and based on their accreditation standards, they have to keep these things in terms of very specific items in a very certain order. And so that's why they add across and as they go through the semester. And so all you'll need to do is save this, and you don't have to save it as a different file every month. You can just save it with your name. So maybe just change it to, I would make this Burke Intern Log Fall 2016 as my file name. And then each month, when by the date that's listed on Canvas, I would submit this. But you don't submit this on Canvas. You print this for each of the weeks that are part of the reporting date. So for the first one for August, it actually goes through week 3, I believe, if I remember correctly what I put on Canvas. So I would print these 3 tabs, and so for each tab you need to click on it, go to print that page, then week 2, click it, print that page, and then the same thing for week 3. You sign each one, your site supervisor signs each one, and then you can either drop them in campus mail to me, 3201 Alexander Hall, or you can scan them and email them to me, bburke@murraystate.edu. I hope that this is user-friendly. Oh, and then if you have any notes that you want to take to provide more details, this is not required. This is more for your personal use. I don't have a big reflection paper or anything like that as part of the class, but this can be useful when it's time for you to reflect on your experience as part of the evaluation process with your supervisor, and then as you evaluate the site. Remember, your site supervisor and I both see this, so if there are things that you don't want one or both of us to see, then don't put them here. So just keep that in mind, that this is a document that you see, that your site supervisor sees, and that I see. But the notes field could be useful to you as you go through the semester.